All right, we're back at it. Today, I'm going to go back and build another brand identity from scratch. You're going to watch me build a brand identity in minutes with AI using Nano Banana Pro. So if you saw my last live stream, we went through this whole process, and I'm going to do it again today with a new brand. But this is the process. You can use AI to turn any idea into a professional brand identity in just a few steps. It's pretty amazing what is possible. And we did some really cool stuff last time. We built out the mood board, and then we started to build out the assets for the brand, including logos, stock photos, background imagery and textures, and then also the mockups for sales funnels, slide decks, YouTube video, thumbnails, you name it. We've got so much we could do. Let's do it again today. I'm going to see what I can do in 30 minutes, and you can follow along and watch the entire process. So I'm going to use the mood board method just so we're all on the same page here. All right, this is what I'm using. Moodboard method prompts. If you don't have them, you can get them now over at moodboardmethod.com. I'm using Google Gemini with Nano Banana Pro, and you could use AI Studio, which is basically free, but it's a little bit more technical, and it's been super buggy lately, but you can do higher resolution. It removes the watermark, and you have more control over the aspect ratio. So I like to use AI Studio a lot. It's pretty much the same as Gemini, just a little bit more control and advanced features. So I'm going to use Gemini today since it's more reliable, and I don't want to be sitting here with bugs and errors happening that you get a lot with AI Studio. Also, the basic stuff from Google, slides, docs, and photos. And I'll be showing you a few other tools that are optional, not needed, but some other things that I use that can save you some time. All right, let's get into it. Today we had a submission from someone who got the mood board method. I have a little form in there. If you have bought it, you can submit your brand idea to have me build it out. This one is pretty cool. It's called Date Pop, and it's a new brand. The context is I'm building a brand for a new beverage called Date Pop. So let me make sure my mic is working. Yeah, all right. So some basics. I don't know anything about this brand. Let's see what we can do here. I'm going to drop in all of this information. I'm going to open up Gemini, paste that in, and let's get right into it. I'm going to use the brand vibe report, which helps me start to generate this. All right. So you can just follow along. I'm going to go through this, and it's going to happen pretty quick. I'll talk it out as I go. I'm going to try not to spend too much time explaining everything I'm doing. I want to try to get it done in 30 minutes today. So what I'm doing here is, first off, the first step that I do with any brand is try to get it to come up with 3 different directions. I like doing this. This prompt will tell it to either write one full report, which is like describing the vibe of the brand, or you can have it come up with 3 different directions. 3 different directions is really helpful because we can test out 3 different concepts really fast. So I'm going to open up a couple tabs here to save time. And let's drop in the first one. Now I'm going to use the next prompt, which is the mood board generator prompt. I'm going to drop that in. So what we have now is a prompt that I've written to tell the AI to create a mood board image. So I'm not even reading these descriptions here. You could read through them and see how they sound and feel, but I just wanted to make it for me and show me. So pretty quick, it's going to load Nano Banana Pro. And this first one here has the first visual direction. So again, just a few details about the business, the brand. If we read through this, you could do this really quickly, just kind of brainstorm a couple ideas like the name of your brand, your business. If you don't have a name, that's fine. That'll come up with ideas for you. Any context about it, like what it is, what the vision is, the target audience, anything that you want it to look like or feel like, anything you want it to avoid. That's pretty much all I'm giving it. Okay, you can do that in a few minutes, really fast. Now we're going to see what the AI comes up with. So this is a beverage. It's a date sweetened soda. And already this looks pretty good. I could totally see that at Whole Foods. I buy this kind of stuff all the time. So that is pretty appealing. I like the color palette. Again, the brand vibe that it writes, it will come up with like slogans and messaging that kind of go with the look and feel. So what I like to do is download. Where's my little download? There we go. Download the results that we get. Oh yeah, that's a little bit more of a, well, like I just bought, the Bloom is a brand that I just bought from. This kind of reminds me of it a little bit. Let me pull it up. If it'll load. They have them at CVS. Kind of has that color palette. Anyway, so you can kind of see it looks super like legit just from a couple mock-ups here. So very different directions. And this one is way more premium. Ooh, that's very cool. That kind of feels like a wine. So I'm not loving that. But that is step one. So what we have now are 3 ideas, which I really recommend doing this first. And normally this would take hours of research, thinking, looking around, seeing what's out there, all the good stuff. AI actually knows a lot already about your customer and knows what would work best. And the prompts that I wrote have it kind of do that thinking for you. And in literally like 2 minutes, you can get 3 ideas to see if any of these are at all what you want. You don't have to pick one of these. What you could do is go back and chat with it. So we have these 3 ideas here. You can give it feedback and have it come up with 3 more angles if you don't like these. But the other thing you could do, if we look back here, is give it feedback on maybe the one direction that you do like. I'm trying to think as a customer, I buy this kind of stuff all the time. Which one would I want? And I kind of feel like we went in this direction yesterday with these very like iridescent looking designs. So I don't know if I want to repeat that, but this is very appealing, but it doesn't say date to me. It feels more like a fruity drink. So this one to me feels more unique. It definitely captures more of that date brand feel. And I kind of like the imagery. Obviously the stock photography is really cool here, what it came up with. And that's one of the coolest things about AI. Like you can see how it can make some really interesting images for us. So this one to me, I like that. And I even like how it's showing the color palette being used for different flavors. Let's go with that one. I think I'm happy with that. But if I wanted to see more ideas, I could go in and say, I like angle number 1, because that's what we called it here. Let's go here. Angle number 1, radical transparency. Kind of like those, what are they called? Gosh, I'm blanking. All those like bars that you can buy that have like one ingredient, or not one ingredient, but they list out the ingredients. That's very popular right now. So I like the radical transparency angle where it's showing exactly what's in it. So I like angle number 1. Give me 3 more vibes in that direction. So this is where you can use the power of chat to just continue to work with the AI to get new angles and directions. And if I wanted to, especially if this was a client, again, I like to do this in the early stages where I sit down with a cup of coffee and I can come up with a bunch of ideas, right? That's what I do. I use Miro to organize this stuff. And you can see even just by testing, I get all this stuff laid out. And when you're going through this, like here's an example. We're going and we're trying to find the direction we want to go in. Once you do, now we start to expand that out. and we can see how it looks in different situations. All right, let me zoom back over here, and I'm rocking with this one. Okay, so I'm gonna go grab that angle and copy it. I like to have things handy, but just so you know, if you were to explore this further, you could have it continue giving you new ideas. All right, what's up? We got some people from Germany. We've got Tim in the house. Where are you at nowadays, Tim? I know you were all over the world. I can't keep track. We got, what's up, Ken? John, what's up, man? Hopefully you were able to stick around. I know this was pending for like 30 minutes as I was getting the content ready for today. Hello, Nicole. Let me know as you're watching. We got a few people live. Go ahead and chime in if you have any questions, any feedback. I'm going to keep an eye on the comments as we're going through this, but I want to get through it quick today. Well, we're already 11 minutes in, so let's see how fast I can go and get this thing created. All right. But that first one, pretty cool. I think it's super unique. All right, so I'm going to paste in the brand vibe, and I'm going to go ahead and drop that over here as well. Let's zoom out a bit. Just having this stuff backed up, super important. Using Google Docs is fine. I'm going to go ahead and grab some of the info that is important. Let's see. I'm going to grab some of the basic details. And again, you can just kind of have all this backed up. Project type, new brand, description. See what they wanted. I didn't even really read it. Playful, premium, bold. I think we nailed it. Matte finishes, vibrant gradients. Ooh, we kind of missed that, but the color palette's pretty cool. Avoiding generic soda branding. I mean, I feel like we've accomplished a lot of that with the request. You could definitely do some vibrant color palettes with these colors. This one captured that a bit more. So, you know, for this person, you could always go in that direction. Jefferson, I'll send this stuff over to you later, but you have different options to go from. This one just felt too fruity to me. This one seems kind of unique. All right, let's rock with that. Next step, let's zoom out here. I'm going to go ahead and do the written guidelines. I'm going to pull up this prompt, copy this, and we can just start a new chat. Actually, we've got it in here, so let's just rock with that. Drop that in. The nice thing is we have you know, we didn't give it any info about the brand, which would probably be helpful, but let's drop that in as well. I'm going to drop in all this. All right, we're going to drop all that in, and I'm going to re-upload the mood board just so it knows. Sometimes it struggles to see what it created. So we'll just go ahead and, oh no, what did I, oh no. Put the wrong one in. Let's see if I can edit that. There we go. Save the day. I love that they have those options to, but it hopefully doesn't get confused. You know what? I'm going to start from scratch with a new chat because that may confuse it. Okay, so we'll drop in all the info. Yeah, that's all the info it needed. The correct mood board. Cool. Now we're going to have it write up some descriptions of this brand. So having it visually is useful. Having this information saved is really helpful, but also having the AI analyze this and describe it is really powerful because that can help you down the road when you are creating other content to give it both the visual inspiration and the written description. I've found helps the AI stay on track, stay on brand much better. So it's going to write up a detailed description based on what we gave it here. Now, what it's not going to do very well is give you the exact hex code colors. So these colors, never rely on anything that it actually gives you. You can use something like coolers to get that done. Let me do that for you real quick. let's open this up. You can use this tool. There's a free option. Let's see here. Image picker. Yeah, this is the one. I think you can just drop it in, or we have to. There we go. Many options to get the color palette. But right here, you'll see you can just kind of hover over and pick these manually. Where'd that one go? There it is. What I like about this is you can then, actually, can we open this up in the, there we go. You can play around with the color palette here, but you have all the hex codes, and you can export this as a PDF or an image, and you can even include some other things in here. I think those two are pretty much it. Let's just do that. So Super Pro, really quick, you can get the actual color palette, and now we have like the colors and the details, all that good stuff, pretty quick and easy. There is another tool that I used that I built over here for the fonts, which let's go ahead and try this. I want to see how it does with the fonts, because this is a new one that I've been testing. It's a prompt that analyzes this and tries to find the Google fonts for you. But these are some of the essential things you need in the early stages. So let me grab all of this, not that one. We'll go grab this entire write-up. And I'm just going to put it down below. So all this is written up. It's fine if we have redundant information in here. This is pretty sweet. Hey, how's it going? Appreciate it. Glad you're enjoying the workflows. All right, what's up? We got, oh, you're in Middle East. See, yeah, you're Silver and Bahrain. Nice. Tim is the man. All right. Got all of this. So I have all this backed up now, saved. And what I like to do is just keep track of that, put it in a Google folder so you can always find it. And we can use that in the future to inform the AI about the brand and give it both the visual direction and the written direction. So I like to create a folder and start to put all that stuff in here. You can add in, I'm going to go ahead and just create a folder within this brand assets. And now we have stuff that we are creating. That is a really, really big start. In like what, 15 minutes, probably. Yeah, about 15 minutes to get that far is pretty crazy. And if you're doing this on a call with a client, which I always do, we can talk it out and just like make decisions right there. It's so much more fun. It eliminates that back and forth. If you're doing this yourself, you can just have fun with it yourself and create a bunch of stuff. Makes this whole beginning process so much faster. So use that same document to put all this info. And I'm going to move that up because now the first tab here has everything on it. So we can just copy and paste all this for future tasks. Let's go ahead and create a new chat here. And what I like to do next is start to play a little bit. On our big board here, what you really want to do is get these brand layers, which is like, okay, what are all the assets, background images we need? I call this the layers of your brand, which make all of your designs look good and really creates that brand style. It's the big idea, which is we just did. Fonts and colors, which let's go see how that's doing. But then we go into background images, stock photos, and accent elements. And I kind of consider a logo. I mean, a logo is kind of part of the main thing, but a lot of times you don't even need a logo to get started. A lot of personal brands like just keep it simple or like use the font as the logo. You really don't need that to get off the ground. People just waste so much time on that and think it's going to make a difference when in today's world, there's so many other things to focus on first. I mean, sure, logos are great. They're highly valuable, perceived value if you do this for work. But not the big, oh, where'd it go? Not a big needle mover in the early stages. Okay, we've got the colors. Did I close out that tab where we were trying to get the fonts? Let me pull it back up, see if it got it for us. See if I can find it. There it was. All right, how do we do with the fonts? Anton, okay, let's see what it came up with. This prompt, this is new. If you guys have the mood board method, these are all the prompts I build, called a font finder down here. I don't know the fancy images for it yet, but it tries its best. It's not perfect, but it will try to find Google fonts. So what we can do is compare this to the fonts that it came up with. And you can type in over here. Definitely not the same. I mean, kind of close. It's going a little bit more vertical. That's really a simple font. So this is where you can play around. Again, you can waste a lot of time doing this. Not waste time, but easy to go down this rabbit hole. That one's actually pretty close. But again, a simple font, Oswald. Interesting how it widens out as it gets bolder. So that could totally fly. I can kind of see it being used. Oswald is kind of being used in these mockups down here. So that's not a bad one to go with. And if you want to go do custom fonts and different things, you could do that. You could even try to get AI to make something super custom by describing, like, I want like a handwritten logo style. Like, you can get it to mock that up. We could see what it comes up with. Let's go ahead and run through some of these next prompts, because the real magic happens now when we get into some of the crazy stuff. So let's see if it can come up with a logo for us. It's a little bit more advanced, or at least give us some different ideas. Okay, let's drop in this. I'll drop in that prompt, and let's just give it all this info that we have. So a combination of the prompt, the mood board image, and the description of the style and some details about the brand. Oh, you'll be in Dubai soon. Nice. And yeah, Gemini is amazing, and all these prompts now work with Gemini, so you can see I'm doing the whole workflow, which is pretty new. Let's see here. Question. Yeah, social content. Let's talk about that in a minute. I'm going to get more into that pretty soon. I've been doing a lot of testing with like one-shot design. It's getting much better, so I'm still doing a lot of testing with that. The mockups are really useful, so check out the mockups around ad images and educational. So let's see, the ad ones are, we'll try some of those, the ad campaigns, and then the post. If we search for post, you could use the search bar up here. This one's pretty good, educational post mockups. If you have like educational type of content, that's a good starting point to just see how it like can imagine. Also, you could look at Instagram. There's a couple like mock-up prompts for trying to see what your content could look like. You have some of the YouTube ones for thumbnail designs, the whole channel design. Those are really helpful just to get ideas together. So we'll probably do all that right now. But this is pretty fun. All right, so these are actually looking a lot more like the Oswald font. You can kind of see it go in that direction. So I'm getting confirmation that Oswald might be the perfect font for this brand based on what it's doing here. All right, let's start uploading that. Did it download? Let's see. And let's see what happens here with that information loaded in. It's pretty good at following along and knowing what's going on with your brand. If you use the same chat, it'll start to use these designs. It may get confused because there's going to be a lot of stuff going on. So I will often use new chats with, let's see here. There we go. We'll start a new chat, so it's a little bit more fresh. and it's not getting too confused with the experiments we're doing. Let me go ahead and we did the logo one, font color. Background imagery is really important. So let's see here. I'm going to drop that in. So prompt, written guidelines and details about the brand, mood board image, can handle that really well. And let's go back. Let me start to close out some of this. Body font, though, I think was the last thing we were looking at. I'm going to close that one out. DM Sans, Inter, and Robot. What do I see here? Kind of a somewhat vertical DM. That's a little bit too wide. Inter, pretty close. Yeah, it feels more Roboto. It's a little bit more vertical just from looking at it, but you know, it's not the biggest decision in the world. All these fonts would look great. But to me, I kind of see Roboto. So the two that I'm seeing are Oswald and Roboto. That just helps you stay on track. So these are that early stage. What are the fonts and colors, right? So we have the colors now. We actually have that whole PDF palette that we created. The exact colors. We can write up fonts. Header is Oswald. Body is Roboto. You can see how that looks and change them later as we're kind of getting into actually designing, but that is pretty close and good enough right now. Let's take a look at what we got here. Okay, background imagery, some different like patterns, textures. Those look nice. We'll see what it comes up with like social media and YouTube. I like to see the mockups to see what kind of backgrounds may be good. Okay, this one, we got that downloaded. Let's go ahead and grab this. Backgrounds, logos. How are we doing on time? 27. I'm probably about 5 minutes away from 30 minutes, but pretty close. Pretty legit brand in about 25 minutes. Let's do some of these different mockups. YouTube. I love the YouTube thumbnail ones just to see like this more in a real life. I'm going to put this text over here so it's easier to grab. All right, a couple basic things. Run that one. What's up, Cornell? Thanks. Let's see where. Oops, headphone fell out. Go to the all. What is it called? The mood board prompts. It's like down below the main 3 steps inside the course, and it's just like mood board prompts. You should see it in there. I'll pull it up for you in a second if you don't. Okay, let's see how this is doing. While that's going, we'll start another one. And again, in the chat interface, you can just chat with it if you want to see some more things. If you do want to take a logo and actually like vectorize it and build it out, what you can do is grab, let's see here. These are so fun. You could grab something like this. And there's different tools to vectorize. But one thing that I've done is I'll use a prompt like this. This was a workflow I showed on the last video, and this is a more streamlined version. Take a rough screenshot of it, and then let me hide this. Sorry about that. Let me go through this. We're going to take out the last part, but basically you can upload a screenshot. Where'd it go? I guess we have a new one. Yeah, we'll do a new one. Upload a screenshot of that low res logo concept. Drop in a prompt like this, recreate this logo exactly the same, but as a super high res and perfectly designed logo, like a pro designer created it and is giving it to the client. How many colors in there? 3 colors. Simple 3-color design. Now I can't make a vector. We may be off. 3 is probably going to be too few. Maybe it'll self-correct, but we got like 4 colors in there probably. Let's see what it comes up with. The idea is to have it at least generate a higher resolution version of this, and then we can go ahead and vectorize it using other AI tools. And while that's running, the way you would go vectorize it, you would download it as a high resolution image. I would remove it. I like removing the background in Clipping Magic, but any background removal tool will work. I just happen to pay the like $4 a month for Clipping Magic. And I'll show you what that looks like in a second. Let's see how those YouTube ones. Oh, okay. Didn't follow that well, so let's try that again. I want to see the YouTube. Let's go ahead and grab, the YouTube. If it struggles to make the image, just go ahead and tell it to make it with the Nano Banana. I think this is actually one of the prompts I haven't updated yet, so that's probably why it struggled. High res, there you go. Yeah, it figured it out, even though there's more than 3 colors. So that's pretty high res, like looks pretty good. Let's download that. And then I would go into simple tool like Clipping Magic, and like in 2 seconds, you can just boom, like, oh, that's actually the other one. Let me get the higher res once that downloads. It's still trying. Well, that's going. Let's see. Okay, now we're getting some images over here. There we go. We've got the high res image. Let's download that. Then you can go to a tool. I would try, I like gamma.new to start up a new gamma. I just pay gamma, so it's easy. You could also just Google search like free AI vectorizer tool. This one you do have to pay to use it, but it works pretty well. I can now click on the image and I can click vectorize. If you don't see it, you can just tell it to vectorize it. There may be some issues like that. Looks like just looking at it, fruit, it's not terrible. I mean, really, that's a pretty legit, looking brand. And then you can just kind of extract out like the actual text there. If there were issues like the year it was established, we'd want to correct that in the AI could have done it at that stage there where I had it do it. Let's say, make it 2025 instead. So something like that, you could just chat and it'll probably do a good job. Vectorize, let's see here. Now I can click on that and download it. And I'll just go to canva.new to start a new Canva so you can see. Let's just drop in just a background so you can see here. And how do we do? We have an SVG. Look at that scalable vector file that is a legitimate, high quality logo that I just made. Right? So I think that's how cool it is. It won't give me what I want. It's sometimes the AI struggles. I want to see those thumbnails because when you start to see the mockups, it just gets real. So I'd say we're at about 30 minutes. We have done some pretty crazy stuff here. We have developed the brand, the look and feel. We actually have a high resolution scalable vector file logo. We have the look, we have backgrounds. Now it's just a matter of like the mockups are the next things. And what I'd also do is start to build out the assets that we need, which, this would be a cool like background. So you can do the same thing here with background imagery. This is really great for social media content, for website design. And you can just take screenshots of this stuff, super low res. And I'll show you the prompt that I'm using to get those assets right here. Let's go ahead and we're just not having luck with that one. Okay, look at that. It did the 2025. So you can see how you can just kind of tell it what you want there. Let's start a new chat and I'm going to tell it this. Let's see here. Recreate this background image exactly the same, but as a super high res image, like a pro digital artist created it and has given it to the client. for use for their branding and marketing. I'm not even going to give it anything else. Make it a 16:9 aspect ratio. And that should work. If we wanted it vertical, that'd be fine. You could have it do it again in a different sizes if you want. The idea is to get these assets together so you can go create content. I'm going to do I really want to see these mockups because this is where it gets fun. So we'll spend I'll stick around for another like 10, 15 minutes. We'll do some mockups, but I wanted to show you how fast we can like bring together an identity and use AI to turn just a rough concept into something actually pretty legit really fast. Tools, image. Let's go ahead and try that. Okay, we've got pretty good image right there, right? Background pattern, textures, really unique for the brand. Could download that. If I want to remove the mark here, you could use the AI Studio, and you could do up to 4K resolution in AI Studio. Works the same way. You just upload the image, give it a prompt like this, and you're going to get these assets. Just takes a little bit more time. It's kind of manual. Another thing you could try is a Mixboard, and you could try this. I've had mixed results with Mixboard, but you could do something like this. This is a tool from Google. It's free to use right now. It's like in their beta labs. Just go to mixboard.google.com. You can click on the image, and it's been doing this. Let me reload. Okay. Click on the image, pop that prompt in. Whoops. And you just change this to be something like recreate every background image on this board. Okay, so the idea is it will generate each of those images as a standalone image. We'll see how it does. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but I love what they're doing with Mixboard. I think this could solve a lot of problems in the future. It will try. Let's see how it did. Sometimes it deletes the original. But I'm looking for like, okay, I kind of see this one was made here. Let's see, it's kind of making some of them. This one's nice. Like that's a good image we could use. So usually when I make a kit for a client, it's going to include a lot of this kind of stuff. Like, yeah, we're going to need these images for like backgrounds, and that's kind of like creepy looking. So I don't know if I'd go in that direction. That one's, I don't know if it's that color or texture, but it could work. Now you're just getting this library of assets that I actually use a Google Photos album to organize all this stuff. Okay, let's see here. What's up from LA? Oh, cool. You found it. Good. I was going to pull that up for you. Yeah, anyone else? It's in all these prompts. If you get the mood board method. Oh no, I have a bug with my whole site. Oh well, I'll fix that later. Love when that happens live. Let's see here. Same problem too. Gemini doesn't always understand. Yeah, it's pretty good, but there's definitely, I mean, AI is not going to be perfect. Yeah, I mean, I don't have that too much anymore. There's always going to be some issues with the AI. Like it's not perfect yet. For the most part, I can understand. Cool. Yeah. Happy to help. And I'll be doing a lot more of these too. So it's super fun to go through this whole process. But I want to see here. Oh, here we go. All right. Now we can see this thing come to life. The YouTube stuff is so fun because YouTube is such a powerful tool. But if you're not using YouTube, you could go into, let's see here. Actually, I like the sales deck. Let's do a couple more of these. Sales funnel mockup is really good. This one I'd probably do a Shopify one too. Okay, so you saw the background stuff. You saw a few different ways to do that. Let's just try a couple more mockups before I wrap up here, because this is honestly the funnest part. Once you get going, it's just pretty magical to really see what the AI is thinking. And with some clients, I've been really pushing this. So for example, this process I'm in right now, let me show you like how crazy you can get. I actually do this even for more advanced brands as we're getting into it. Like here are like the assets. These are like the background images I'm generating. And then over here, when we get into the weeds of like developing stuff, I'm building a bunch of mockups and we're getting like different things laid out. I just like to see how the AI sees the brand coming to life. And I can get ideas by like these rough mockups, like, whoa, this is pretty cool. And I like that. You can even go in and be like, oh, I like this background image, do the same thing and just be like, generate this as a high resolution background image, ignore the text and the subject in it, just give me the background image. And you can do the same thing to create different pieces that you need. And that's kind of what I did to make, start pulling out all these different background images that I need and visualizing. And it also came up with these really cool mockups like over here. I really like the style of this kind of aura it was creating. I'm like, oh, I want to do something like that. So I started building out custom prompts to do that, to like apply that effect to images. So now we can create all these different branded images for the brand, and just takes a lot of testing. But if you're working with a brand for a while, like your own brand or someone else's, you want to start to do this. I'm even testing like actually creating images. Can it do the design? Can it create the social content? In one click, I was able to like create an image like this. And it's not perfect yet, but again, lots of experimenting. It's pretty crazy what it can do. We're almost there, but you do need to have a foundation in place to be able to leverage all of that, right? It gets really fun. So let's take a look at this. We have mockups now. Let's go back over here and just start to see all the fun stuff. It makes designing so much easier once you have all of the mockups and things in place. All right. Look at these. We can see what kind of background images do we need? What kind of stock photos do we need? We can generate these. But I'm seeing like brown backgrounds, maybe some subtle texture. I even like something like this, a flat lay. I would actually go in and probably have it create something like that, like background images. You see how it even created a background on this? We could tell it to say like, oh, I like, I like how you made this background. Give me, something like this, a flat lay with all these ingredients, right? So what I like about the mockups is you can pull things out as you start to see it bring your vision to life. Sales funnel. Okay. Look at this. We have different pages in the customer journey designed. And now I'm like, all right, I like how these colors play together. I can see how like the primary color can be that orange. I could see the fonts working well together, what combos. And even again, what I'm looking at here also are the accent elements. So you see how it's creating these like splash elements and effects. What we could also do is pull that stuff out. And one thing you could do to actually grab all that is this one here, the accent elements. This will create a big grid for you. So what I could do is drop in that, and then I'm going to put in that image we just made. And I'll also put in the original mood board image. And it's going to analyze all that and create a grid with a bunch of these different elements that I might need. So let that run. I'm going to close out all these font tabs. And what I would recommend doing is like backing this stuff up. So upload it, back it up. You see I'm going fast and downloading. But what's really fun is when you get a board of images, and I can just show you what we did last time. I'll go back and clean this up later with this brand. But like yesterday, like I created a Google photo album, and you can just kind of see everything in one place. And that's super helpful. So you can just go back and be like, oh yeah, what did I like? What did I not like? How did that look? I do that for every brand that I build. So I just have all the images backed up somewhere. And then when you sit down to actually make the pages, the marketing, you're not starting from scratch. You're like, oh, I like how that looked. Let me go make something kind of like that. Okay, this one's super cool. How do we do with, okay, close that out. Yeah, all these images, we could back those up. close that one out. Close that out. Okay, check it out. Now we have all these accent elements that could be pulled out. You can go, you can't do transparency in Gemini right now, but ChatGPT, you could go in and do something similar where you tell it to create. This would actually be over in the like brand layers side, or just like the different elements and things. There we go. So I could go in and take screenshots of this and be like, I want that, you know. I want the arrow. You could pull that out, and ChatGPT could regenerate that as a high resolution image with a transparent background. And it will do a pretty good job of that. So we're kind of at that stage right now with AI. It's like a combo of knowing what to do, having these systems in place, and then just trying to extract the value from AI. Like, what can it do for you that's helpful? I really, really personally enjoyed the mock-up creation for ideas and exploring directions. And it's not hard. It just takes a little bit of clicking around. But again, you can wake up in the morning, have a cup of coffee, or do it on the weekends in your free time, and honestly just create a bunch of ideas that help you get moving when you need it. All right, let's do a couple more. What do we want here? Instagram, I'll do that one. And then let's see here. Yeah, sales funnels are great, right? It's so cool. The aura prompt. Oh, yeah. You know what you could do is actually, I'll tell you the way to actually do this for any idea is inside the Moodboard Method course, you have the style transfer tool. That's how I did it. So you can go find anything you like. And just so you know how I did it is, let me open up that image again. You'd take a screenshot of basically anything you like. Here we go. Here's some like Instagram. Look at this. Social media ideas. Now you see the brand really coming together, right? I can see the kind of images we need. Now you see why these like little accent elements, squiggly lines, little designs can be really useful, but mostly fonts and colors. Fonts, colors, and images, which is probably a good one to look at because we didn't go there, but stock images, right? What kind of stock photos do I need? You would do the same thing as before, where you can create a bunch of ideas. And we have a bunch in this mood board. It did a great job of giving us like, what kind of stock imagery do we need? And then you can have a create a board of those and then pull those out individually, or use something like Mixboard to try to do it all in one go. And it can do a pretty good job of creating a bunch of images. And then you just go in and download them. But regarding the, like doing the aura thing, go check it out. I have a video showing you how to do it. But if you like stuff, this is the other crazy thing is you can go in and like take a screenshot of something you like, and then go use the style transfer tool. It's a GPT. You upload that image and it will write a prompt that will then help you apply this style to any image you want. So what I like to do with brands now is create their own set of prompts. And it may take some testing and tweaking to get it right, but that's the fastest way. And that's how I did it. So basically anything you see that the AI is making or that you see out there that other people are doing, you can kind of take a screenshot of it and then have the AI write a prompt that will apply that style to any photo that you have. So check that out. Watch the training. I show you how to do that in the course. Yeah, right. Like seeing it makes it feel so much more real, because all this stuff just feels, it's like, okay, what do I do with all this, right? It's like a bunch of stuff. It's really magical when you see the social media content, the sales funnels, like now the brand looks super legit. So I like doing this as part of the brand development. The mood board is a good first step. You can kind of see how you can you get a good feel for it, right? But like, how do you actually bring this brand to life? The mockups do a great job. And again, we could try it, same thing with one of these. If you're not sure, I'd recommend, oh, here's our stock photos. Look at this, super cool. I mean, now you really see like, hopefully you can see the power of all these prompts, because like that is, it's magical. Like you don't really, this would be so hard to imagine all this and do the research and find the photos or take the photos. And if you're going to hire someone to do a photo shoot, do this first, right? What kind of images do we need? The stock photo one and the founder photo shoot one are really, really good. It's super cool. Like the, I thought this one was really fun. The founder photo shoot. It's like, what should the, what kind of photos do we need from a photo shoot? You can just run this prompt, tell it about your brand, and it will give you like a whole shot list of the kind of photos that may be useful for your brand. Like that is crazy, right? The stock photos, the backgrounds. Yeah, sometimes the YouTube thumbnails are a little bit boring. I really like what it's doing with this other brand. It's super unique. But let me show you this. We can run, let's do this prompt, the sales funnel one. Actually, oh my gosh, we got to do the sales deck one. I have to do it for you. I'll do this one more time so you can see it with a different brand. And this is great too. If you are pitching this to a client or just in your own exploring, you can run your mood board through some of these other prompts and be like, I'm not sure which one I like. Let's see how it would look, right? So if I'm not, I haven't decided on which direction, you can do it with multiple mood boards and see what the sales funnel would look like. While that's going, I'm going to do the last thing, which is the sales deck, which to me is just really crazy. I mean, all these are crazy. Okay, now you can kind of see what these colors would look like. Looks fine. I mean, that could work, but I'm definitely feeling the other one much more. This one feels kind of like every other fruity drink out there, where Date Pop is like a different brand, different style. Okay, let's run this and take all this. This will be the last thing I do today. All right, so I gave it the sales deck prompt. I gave it the mood board image, and then our vibe description, a couple details about the brand, and then the written brand guidelines. I'm just throwing a bunch at it just so I don't miss anything. The AI can kind of process all of this. But the combination is what I've seen really working. And I've spent a lot of time on these prompts to get it to kind of write things and describe it in the way that will help the AI know how to bring it to life. So we're trying to avoid the like default, which is the AI being lazy and doing like the generic stuff. You can push it further by giving it clear instructions that really bring it to life. This one's, it did a decent job. Not the best sales deck I've seen, but this one sometimes can be really mind-blowing. I especially hate when the format's not right. It's supposed to be 16:9. So these down here are a little bit better. But this one's super useful, and I would probably try running it a few times. So I might just honestly run it a couple times just to see if we get any better luck out of this. Because it is, especially in early stages of a brand, like how do I even present this or explain it? How do I sell this? Oops, can be really tricky. And I'm really impressed with what the AI can do when it comes to making, let me drop these in. These are part of the layers. Maybe I didn't download that one. Let me go grab it. Then we'll look at those. See how this one did. We'll close that one out. All right, a little bit. It's struggling a bit, but some of this is cool. Yeah. All right, let's see. We'll see here. Did it download yet? Come on, couldn't download. All right, this is pretty wild when you actually read through this, because it actually makes sense and it can help you making a quick sales video or something. Like, how are you presenting your ideas? So the no BS soda, sweetness without the secrets, that's a pretty cool slogan. The truth about sweeteners, no fake stuff, just fruit. I mean, you can actually see it's pretty dang good. Why dates win. So it's selling, like, what the heck is date pop and why does it matter? Boom. Now we have some good sales messaging. Single flavor focus, pure impact. So you're kind of pitching it to like an investor or, some kind of like partners. Like, this kind of stuff could be used in so many places. Even like how you're going to present the brand, the anti-fake lifestyle. So cool. I mean, it really brings your brand to life. Partnership opportunities, supply chain, and just the kind of like headlines you'll get out of it. The visuals are crazy. I don't know where it's getting this naked can. Was it doing that? Because that's funny. Anyway, these are pretty good though. Like, you can see date, spice date, zestate. Interesting. So many ideas. Crazy. Like, you got to be doing this. Like, I don't know. I think this is the power of AI. So we'll wrap up there. Deck is Gamma Fluids. That's a designer right there. Fluid size. Yeah. I am working on a prompt that will analyze an image like this and write everything out, what every slide is, and descriptions for Gamma. I haven't got it to work perfectly yet. I mean, or even really at all where I want it to be, but that's kind of the direction. So if you guys know any good slide deck builder tools that can take either written description of the design and what's on it, and or like visual inspiration and generate that, let me know, because I'm working on that right now. Could we take this and just actually have AI go build it all? I know Google is doing some stuff with Notebook LM. I haven't tested that enough. But that's the future, is like you can mock it up, pick the one you like, and then take that and run it through another tool that will build out this deck. Like, we're almost there, probably by the end of 2026, right? But I think this is a really good first step, at least. Yep, definitely. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up there. This was a lot of fun. We made a lot of progress today. And again, in 30 minutes, we got really far. And the last 20, 30 minutes, I was just kind of playing around. So appreciate y'all hanging out. One thing I'll pull up for you real quick. We do have a few things on the radar that you should know about. And I've got this little bug on my site. I'll go fix that. But if you don't have the mood board method yet, you can get it now. We got a special price. Brand Builder Club. This is on sale right now. This is going to give you access to the mood board method plus a lot more. Be sure to check that out, because that is on sale right now. I'm going to be doing a lot in the club, a lot of these kind of live workshops. So we're going to go much further. I'm doing a lot of the public stuff will be the early stages of a brand, but when you actually start to get into like building out the brand, the sales funnels, the marketing content, YouTube optimization, digital product creation, all that good stuff, that's what the club is going to be. So I'll be doing a lot more live workshops there. And you also have access to all the behind the scenes of what I'm doing for myself and my clients. After we get past that initial stage of the identity, how do you actually go and build out the brand and start making money? That's what the club is. So check it out and come join me if you're interested. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we're doing our first workshop on Thursday, tomorrow, where I'll be showing some more advanced stuff on using AI to create your images and some of the stuff I'm doing with clients that I kind of teased today. Also, if you want some help, if you start to get in the weeds and clicking all this stuff is not appealing to you, I have a team of VAs trained, and I'm training them currently on how to do all this. So what I put together is a 6-month program that will help you get everything up and running, all your strategy in place, all the graphics you need, all the systems to build your brand way faster in 2026. You meet with me once a month to do the strategy, and then you get, it includes us managing the VAs for you and building all this stuff out, because it really does take a lot of clicks to get all this set up. Websites, sales funnels, email systems, YouTube content. It just, it really is a lot of work. So if you want help and if you want us to do that for you, we have a few spots open for the first 6 months of the year. We're doing like 6-month chunks. So we're only taking a handful of people for the first half of the year next year. If you want in, go check it out, and you can get on a call with me or our team to see if it's a good fit for you. All right. Otherwise, if you are a DIYer, mood board method course is a no-brainer. Get all those prompts right now. You can go and do this over and over, build unlimited brands, and I'll be updating that course all the time because that's like all the foundational stuff. I love hacking away at this and making it much easier. So get in there now at the low price, and then stay tuned on YouTube. I'll be doing a lot more demos like this. I'd love to hear if you have any questions. I'll try to help out on these live streams. All right, that's it for now. I'm going to wrap up, take a break, and I'll be back on YouTube here in the next few days, probably doing another brand. And if you are in the mood board method course, there's a lesson in there where you can submit your brand. If you want me to do a demo like this, just go ahead and fill that out. And I'm not promising it's everybody, but if you want me to do this for your brand, then just get the course and you can go fill out that form. And yeah, that's it for now. Take care. Talk to you soon.